I will start my debate in 3, 2, 1. This House will adopt student loan mechanism in Indonesia. We reject the adoption of student loan mechanisms in Indonesia because it creates long-term financial burden, worsen inequality, and it's unsuitable for Indonesia economic condition. Education should empower students, not trap them in debt before they even start their careers. In a country where young unemployment, low wage, and economic instability are still major problems, forcing students to depend on loans for education is so dangerous. Therefore, we firmly oppose the implementation of student loans in Indonesia. The definition is student loan mechanism is a policy where university students borrow money from the government or financial institution to pay for higher education and are required to repay the debt, usually with additional interest after graduation. In this debate, adopt means Indonesia officially implement the system nationwide as a major method of financing tertiary education. Student loans create financial pressure and mental burden. Young people begin adult life already in debt. Analysis from every source that I got. Fresh graduates in Indonesia often struggle finding jobs, receiving low starting salaries, work in unstable sector. Adding debt means stress, anxiety, delayed financial independence. Many graduates may postpone marriage, avoid entrepreneurship, avoid lower paying public service jobs because they must prioritize loan repayment. Education should open opportunities, not to create fear of the future. In the status quo, students may struggle after graduation. That burden is much worse. In my second argument is Indonesia is not economically ready. Student loan systems fail when economic conditions are unstable. Indonesia still has uneven employment opportunities, wage inequality, high informal sector employment. Unlike developed countries, many Indonesia graduates do not immediately obtain stable high-paying jobs. If repayment depends on income, government risks massive unpaid debt. Taxpayer eventually cover losses. If repayment is strict, students suffer financially. In a way, the system creates problems. You cannot build a debt-based education system on unstable economy. It increases educational inequality. Per student become more afraid to pursue university. Explanation: rich students can pay tuition directly, graduate debt-free, even but the poor student must borrow money, carry long-term financial risk. This creates unequal pressure. Many low-income families may avoid the university entirely because they fear debt. So instead of encouraging access, student loan can discourage vulnerable students from entering higher education. Proposition claims to explain access, but access with fear is not true access. Student loans can be exploited by universities. Student loan system can encourage universities to increase tuition fees. My explanation is when students are given easier access to loans, university know that students can still pay using loan borrowed money. As a result, tuition fees may continue rising. Universities become less motivated to keep education affordable. Students become more dependent on a debt. This creates a cycle where higher tuition, bigger loans, bigger financial burden. Without student loans, universities face more pressure to maintain affordable tuition because students pay directly. With student loans, the burden is simple, shifted to future debt. Student loans do not solve expensive education, they only delay the payment. The impact in the long term, student debt increases, inequality worsens, education becomes more commercialized rather than accessibility. So, in my point is, The role of education is to lift people out of the poverty, not tie them to years of repayment. Indonesia should strengthen scholarships, subsidies, and affordable public education, not normalize debt among young people, but because student loans create pressure, inequality, and long-term economic risk. We proudly stand with the opposition. That's all. Thank you.